Oh yes. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. It is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo, with yet another enlightening, encouraging, spirit-raising episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. Yes, there I am. Hey, good morning, America. Oh, wait a minute, is that copyrighted? No, like, good morning. Yeah, so here I am at the revamped skeleton spawner. I kind of worked on it a bit. You can see over here, here's the skeleton spawner. And what I did is I made them drop an extra block. So now they drop 2 blocks instead of 1 block. And then I also moved them over. Instead of them bunching up in the middle to go through the middle passage, what I did is I made it go all the way to the left. Goes all the way to the left. No more bunching in the middle. We go all the way left. So watch, check this out. So they spawn, they fall in, they drop into the thing down there, and then they zoom up. Nice and easy. And then they go and they fall down here. So I had to move stuff around a lot. I had to move this guy here. I had to move the I had to move that the channel. I had to move the middle channel that went up because that wasn't working. I had to move this guy over a couple blocks because it was too close to the wall. But yeah, then now it's working out. It works great. So I can just collect all the skeletons in the closet and defeat them all at once. And what's great about this is that with these extra blocks in the way, I'm not picking up crap in my inventory. See, my inventory stays clean. While the skeletons die, ha 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 ha. I get the XP, I keep the bones, I keep the arrows. If I want, I can keep the bows and the armor. It just stays there instead of filling up my inventory. And then here, we can watch. It's being dropped in this hopper into this dropper, which shoots it across the ice and into a water stream. Oh, I picked up crap. See, if you get too close to the edges here, you can pick it up through the glass. Anyways, then it goes up and goes into my item sorter. This first one is for arrows, this next one is for bones, and this last one is for bows. But it fills up pretty quick with crap. So I have this little flush mechanism here that I can help it clean it out. Like, I don't want any of this crap. That was a mistake to pick up. But yeah, that's what I spent all my time. I didn't have a whole lot of time this week to play Minecraft. I didn't really play Minecraft hardly at all this week. So I spent like a couple hours revamping this thing. So it works really good. And primarily, the reason why I wanted to revamp it was for all these bones. This is the best way to get bones. I made that fish, here, let's go. I made that fish farm with the idea that, like, sure, I'll pick up fish, but I'll also pick up bones. So yeah, I made this fish farm here, thinking that, oh yeah, enough of these fish die, and I'm gonna pick up some bones. The problem is, fish don't die very quickly, or the fish don't drop very many bones. So what I have instead of a lot of fish, or a lot of bones, I only have 8. I have a ton of fish. I don't know what to do with all this fish. So, and the other problem is that on the next update, this farm will stop working. They'll change it so that fish do not spawn in moving water. The water has to be still. And this whole thing is moving water. So fish will stop spawning, which means this will break, and I have to make it into something else. In the meantime, so yeah, that's uh-oh. That's why I made the skeleton spawner. I revamped it to be more efficient. And yeah, I had to do a lot of things, like redo this tunnel. I had to like clear out the space to make it more even. But it works good. It works really good. I'm happy with it. And then over here we have a little passage. So one day, if I ever decide, hey, you know what we need are spiders, I can come and get some spiders. Spider eyeballs, if I need them. It's just right there. How convenient, huh? Alright, so there's that right there. Let's go to the factory. Yeah, here's my sheep farm. This is pretty cool. I mean, all of this is working great now. All I need, I mean, the wheat farmers are farming wheat, the carrot farmers are farming carrots, the bees are getting the honey, like the melons are accruing. I don't know what else I mean, I have sugar cane for days. Whee, sugar cane. So yeah, the farm is coming together. Everything's coming together. It's all coming together. The creeper farm, I've got so much gunpowder, I don't know what to do with it all. The other sheep farm is working awesome. The more I hang out here, the more rainbow colored sheep or wool I have, and I can make something great when I have time. I've been kind of busy. Yeah. So I gotta make that white square into something now that I have wool, colored wool. The gold farm is producing a lot of gold and a lot of rotten flesh. So I've been trading with all these priests here at the I don't know, what is this? The altar? I don't know, not altar. Temple to what? Well, this summons iron golems, so I don't know. Temple of protection? Temple of iron? I don't know. But I can trade with all these priest guys and get almost anything I need. I'm working on, a scoot. Dude, scoots are so expensive. Why would I trade 4 scoots for an emerald? That's ridiculous. I can't even get any to make a helmet. Okay. So yeah, this is another, yeah, it's coming together. I've been in my mine. I've been hurting for materials, so I just dug out some of the blocks I had tucked away. I'm still using kind of like crappy stuff because I haven't had time to go make proper materials. And I think this is a slime chunk. So if it's a slime chunk, I have to make another iron golem to collect all these guys, because they're annoying when they just, I have a huge space and I don't want it to be filled up with slimes. Yeah, can't have slime guys just running around. Gotta take care of them. Okay, yeah, dude, here, let me tell you, I want to show a video. This will This will tell you stuff. It says it better than I can say it.
Why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood?
Oh, no.
It's not ours. We don't.
Stop, dude. Why don't you show it? Infran view. Where's my infran view? VCL. There we go. There we go. What is this doing here? I don't. That's a separate program, dude. Oh, media player. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. Let's start over. So I was talking to a nice young woman. I was talking to this nice young woman, white woman, and she was around in the 60s. She was around. She was a young. Well, she's a nice young woman, but she was a younger woman in the 60s. And back. And so, I mean, she was really young. I mean, she was like 8 years old in the 60s. And she remembered when the Watts riot happened. The Watts riot. Oh, wait, get some music going again. Where'd that? She remembers the Watts riots in LA. And she said she could see the fires from the Watts riot from her house and the smoke. And she was only 8 years old. So I don't think she had a great understanding of what was happening in the world. I mean, come on. Like, when I was 8, I didn't have a clue. No idea. Like, yeah, like I still couldn't figure out school. Like, what am I gonna know about like social relationships and race relations and history at 8 years old? I'm not gonna know anything. But so she was 8 years old, and she saw these fires, and then she saw the way her parents reacted, and her parents reacted in great fear. And because her parents reacted in great fear, and she watched this, she was 8 years old, she deeply imprinted that fear. She saw that happen and was like, oh, if my parents, the you know, like, mother is the name of God on the lips of children. And if your God is freaked out, you're gonna be freaked out. Like, I can imagine, remember when the cops murdered Philando Castile, and that woman was arrested because the cop killed a guy, and she was sitting in the back of a cop car, handcuffed, with her kid, and her kid was trying to comfort her. Man, that's awful. That's awful. That kid is gonna know that cops are bastards. How traumatic. So if something like seeing your parents freak out about fires that are like in the distance, and that fear was enough to make her Well, that and a few other things made her feel so bad about black people that she carried it. She carried that idea for like decades. Decades and decades and decades. 50 years she carried that idea. 50, 60 years she carried that idea in her head. That's the way it was. She was unable to move past that perspective. She was like locked in. So if that'll happen to a nice white woman, imagine what would happen to a kid who watches like someone get murdered in front of him and then watches his mom break down because of it. And she didn't break down. She held it together amazingly, even after she saw her friend get murdered by the police. That trauma, I mean, look at it. The trauma doesn't go away. And she makes a really good point. Like, we have a social contract. That's the whole point. We're a social contract. As long as you keep your end of the contract, we'll keep our end of the contract. And when you don't keep your end of the contract, we're going to burn it down. Thomas Jefferson said that the tree of liberty has to be watered every 20 years or something. Of course, that guy, it's easy for that guy. He was an aristocrat. He didn't fight. He had a bunch of other people go fight for him. But yeah, if the social contract is not upheld, bad things are going to happen. So if you want to look at the history of black Americans, what is their history with the social contract? Black Americans were enslaved, dragged over to America. They couldn't talk to one another because they all came from different tribes, so they didn't have a common language. They didn't know, like, they couldn't really have any way of knowing where they came from. They got thrown into a hostile world where they had to fight constantly and endure countless atrocities against them for generations, for hundreds of years. And then there's this big war, and then they're freed, but the freedom is incomplete. It just changed into a different kind of oppression, and so they were never really free. So they're continuing to fight, and every time they start getting to a point where they're doing all right, the oppressors come and burn it all down again and make them start over, and then tell them and gaslight them and tell them, oh yeah, you're okay. No, we're not. They're not okay. You just burned down and murdered them again and again and again and again and again, and it happens over and over and over again. That's a break of the social contract. You're breaking the social contract. The piece of paper that you said was law, and that you said you uphold law, you're showing that you don't uphold law, and that the piece of paper, the contract, means nothing to you. That's what you're saying. Here, I have another video. Pause. Of, let's see, this way over here. Where'd it go? I didn't, like, I wasn't ready for this. Like, I had to make my title screen like 10 minutes before the show started. So. Oh, where'd it go? I'm not organized at all. Yeah, I've just been like kind of. So there's like, we're in like, okay, I think I read that we're in the 4th generation of. Let me put this back here because I don't have anything to look at. I read somewhere that we're on the 4th generation of warfare. What that means is that warfare has changed. Is that they're trying to get away from using bombs and missiles because that's expensive and it destroys the stuff that you want to keep. And it wrecks the, if you destroy a city, then when you take over, you don't have a city anymore. You have a bunch of rubble that you have to rebuild. So a lot of forces don't want to destroy the city. They want to capture the city and keep all its wealth for themselves and its productivity for themselves. So the warfare has changed to try to take over culture and ideas, the minds of the people who are in the city or in the country. To that end, Russia has done a great job. They installed their dude, Trump, who has caused all sorts of chaos in our country and has done more damage to us than the wars have done. It's like no war has made us lose our allies. No war made us attack our own people. And the music. So what they've done is they send out so the internet is great because it lets us spread around information really well and really fast. It's like a nervous system, like the nervous system of a body. It's great. But like the nervous system of a body, you can trick it. You can send wrong information. Looking for torches, and I don't have any. So what has happened is Russia and these, well, I don't know if it's all Russia, but these state actors are flooding our internet, our nervous system with bad information, and that when then people will act on that bad information. So, for example, the airwaves and the internet have been flooded with this idea that anti-fascists and Black Lives Matter are going to go into the suburbs and small towns and pillage and burn down the town. And militia types, right-wing militia types, the people who get together with guns, they believe it. They read these things and they're, oh yeah, that's true. And so what they did was they got together to do counter protests, to say that Black lives don't matter. Because they believe that Black Lives Matter is not about Black Lives Mattering, but about burning down stuff. Now, if they don't understand why people would be angry. They don't understand it. They can't understand it. Like, I don't know if it's because they don't get the message. I don't know if they want to protect white privilege. I don't know what the deal is, right? I talked to another woman. I don't know if they're traumatized, right? If they're holding on to trauma, and because of their trauma, they have these messed up ideas in their head that they can't get past. Like the woman who saw the Watts riots, and because of seeing that, has been traumatized for the rest of her life, and assumes that's the way all black people are. Like, she carried that trauma for many, many years. And it had nothing to do with her. It had nothing to do with her. But yet she internalized it and carries it. And then projects it onto all black people. And so that makes her apt to accept messages that are wrong. So yeah, the Russians or some state actor made up a bunch of stuff about Black Lives Matter and anti-fascists, and spread them, and then that caused all the militias to come out with their guns and threaten Black Lives Matter's protesters. Doesn't help America. It doesn't help the Black Lives Matter. It doesn't help the right-wing militias. It doesn't help anybody. It helps Russia, is what it does, because it breaks us up. And the whole point of America is that unity is strength, diversity is strength. I don't have that. I'm gonna grab that picture real quick off my Facebook page. See, look at me not being ready. I've been real busy, guys. I mean, I went to a lot of protests. I can show you pictures of protests too. Oh, I'm so tired. I got up late. I got everything was just messed up. Where'd my picture go? It's not there. And how is it not there? There it is, okay. Save image as. That's fine. In friend view. Open with. Open with. So he goes on. This is Eisenhower. This is Eisenhower talking to his troops before D-Day. Eisenhower goes on to contrast the American ethos of unity with Nazi ideology. Instructions given by the military departments to our troops before the Normandy invasion reminded soldiers that the Nazi slogan for destroying us was divide and conquer. Our American answer is, in union, there is strength. We must summon that unity to surmount this crisis, confident that we are better than our politics. So there's these fake messages going out telling right-wing militias that Black Lives Matter are against Americans. They're trying to divide us. And these right-wing militias, they don't understand the history of oppression of black people. They don't understand it. They don't understand that the social contract has been broken for black people forever. They don't understand it. To white people in these right-wing militias, they listen to these messages from Russia saying that black people are coming to take your stuff, and they react violently. And so that's trying to break us apart. But if the right-wing militias would understand that they're part of the social contract. Black people are part of the social contract. If we can't have rule of law, then the rights of right-wing militias are also under threat. And we can see it, right? I mean, their hospitals are being defunded. The rural hospitals are being defunded. They're losing their jobs. To go back. So, for example, what happened with the coronavirus is that we had a massive transfer of wealth from the bottom to the top. How that happened was Donald Trump failed to create a national strategy for taking care of the coronavirus. We had to shut down and self-quarantine to buy the government time to ramp up testing, and so we could locate where the virus was and then quarantine that part to keep it from spreading. But Donald Trump didn't do this, so that he left it up to the states. Well, actually, he pitted the states against each other. He made the states fight each other to come up with their own strategy. So individual states, yeah, sure, they made the quarantine strategy to shut down, to buy the government time, to put out testing. But the federal government never got around to doing the testing. They never got around to it. And the federal government never supported the states. In other countries, when they shut you down for 2-3 months, the government paid you. They paid you to stay at home and to keep your business going, to keep your small business alive, right? Because this is the problem. This murdered small businesses. The shutdown without support from the federal government murdered small businesses. All that business went to the big businesses. So yeah, if you're a small business owner, you're gonna look at the shutdown and be like, oh, it was just a ploy to kill me. And you're kind of right. I mean, it wasn't a ploy to kill you. It's that you weren't supported. You didn't get support from the federal government to keep you going like they did in every other country. So what that did is Donald Trump transferred your wealth, the small business wealth, over to the big businesses, to the massive corporations, who don't get taxed, who don't operate under the same laws that small businesses have to operate under, it was a big transfer of wealth. Donald Trump transferred wealth from the small business owners up to the big businesses where where his friends are. But Donald Trump turns around and blames the governors for doing this. So yeah, like, it's just a big cluster. It's just a big mess. Oh, wait, am I still here? Yeah. It's a big mess. It's a big mess. So that's what happens when you don't support your people, is that you break the social contract. So it's not just black people who are getting the social contract broken. It's also small business owners, people who have more money, people like regardless of your race. Like, you could be a black business owner with money, and still, because of the quarantine, it made you lose your business, and that all got transferred to the large corporations. And that's by design of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is here to destroy us. The Republicans are here to destroy us. They're Confederates. But that's been the thesis of my series since the beginning. That Donald Trump and the Republicans are Confederates. They're here to destroy the country. So, like, I showed images of police brutality last show, and Google responded by putting my show behind a gate. Now so everyone can't see it, and that's lame. That's bad. That was the whole point of me doing it on YouTube, is so that everyone could watch it. Now, maybe I'll put it on Vimeo or something. I don't know, but. Yeah, because everyone needs to see the police brutality. That's been going on forever. It's not a new thing. Remember, the police grew out of a history of white supremacy, of the Ku Klux Klan, that was created to keep newly freed black people in line and oppressed. And so that tradition, you can see it going on even today. Police are brutal. They've been brutal to black people forever. And now that we're starting to see that they're brutal to white people too, like, maybe white people will pay attention. That police brutality is a serious issue, because it's a break in the social contract. You break the social contract when you have police brutality. Police are supposed to be the lawful agents of the state. And if they break the law, then they're not lawful agents of the state, and they're wielding authority and violence illegitimately. If they have no legitimacy under the social if you're not legitimate, then people are going to fight back because you're not legitimate. People are going to resist because they're not legitimate. And this has been going on to black people for their entire existence here in America. It's only now, since cell phones, that we see any little piece of it. Like, think about how much police got away with before the cell phone. Think of how many times police get away with stuff because they weren't recorded. Picking up sand, sand and snow, sand and snow. Yeah. Man, see, I'm not ready. Like, it's gonna be a short show. I don't have, like, I'm tired. I went to the Salem protests, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think Sunday night there were a bunch of kids who caused problems, and that caused the police to come out and in riot gear and be all crazy like that. Meanwhile, down the street at some beauty salon, a bunch of right-wingers are posted outside with guns. The police told them how to not get arrested, because the police were, they're sympathetic to the right-wingers, the armed militias. That's bad. That the police are not sympathetic to the people against police brutality, but are sympathetic to the Nazis who are armed. Oh man, I'm so tired. I didn't really prepare. I went to bed early last night, woke up late. Alright, well I got a bunch of sand. I'm good. Snow for more sand. Oh man, I'm tired. Snow. Oh, we can pack the snow, right? Yep. Pack it up, pack it in. All right, guys, and gals, pretty tired, and I didn't really prepare for this. I've been protesting, like, I've been going to these things. I went to one in Kaiser, that was nice. We stood on all four corners, and a lot of people were honking in support. So that was good. I mean, yeah, you had some people trying to shout all lives matter, but then I just drowned them out. Jam their signal, if you will. Because, yeah, that's silly. What do you mean? All lives can't matter till Black Lives Matter. So if you say all lives matter, you're negating Black lives. You're saying that they don't matter. They're not included in this all lives thing. Well, which is BS. Of course they're included. Of course. And so that means you cannot say Black lives, you cannot say all lives matter. You can't. I mean, if you do, then you're telling everyone that you're not really down with the cause. So yeah, man, I'm exhausted. I'll do another show, I guess, later this week, because things are going down. Donald Trump is calling Putin to get advice. Like, it's so obvious that he's a traitor. It's so obvious at this point. But but don't stop, guys. We got to keep going. We got to keep up the pressure. We have to abolish the police, defund the police. The police departments are corrupt all the way through. We have to rebuild them. We have to burn them to the ground. Now, not literally, metaphorically speaking. We have to burn them to the ground and rebuild them as new institutions that have accountability built into it. There's a bunch of pictures of all these cops in New York City covering their badges. So at that point, they're just thugs, right? They're unidentified thugs. Because if you're not going to be held accountable for your actions, then you're not an agent of the state. You're a thug. Thugs are people who aren't held accountable for their actions. A police officer is honorable, and they will stand upon their actions. They know their actions are honorable, so they have no problem identifying who they are. It's like, no problem, sure, that's who I am. But if you're a thug, you want to hide, and that's different from an activist who wants to hide their identity, because they're not an agent of the state. They're activists, and they have to, a lot of them have to, you know, they're coming from vulnerable populations, so it makes sense that they would want to hide their identity, you know, and they would let their work speak for them. But police officers, they're agents of the state. They're paid by the taxpayers, so they're supposed to be held accountable for their actions. That's why we pay them. So when they cover up their badges and their identification so that we don't know who they are, they're thugs at that point. They want to hide the. They don't want to stand by their actions. They don't want to be held accountable. So yeah, we need to destroy the police departments and rebuild them with accountability installed, I guess. Like, oh man, there's so much, but I'm tired. All right, so I will talk to you another time, America. Hang in there, keep protesting, don't give up. Everyone's watching us. Everyone's watching us. I'm not joking, dude. The whole world's watching us do this. So let's keep it up. Okay, I'm proud of you guys. I hope you're proud of me for what I'm doing. And let's keep it going. All right. Peace. Stop. Oh wait, before I stop, I want to do a poem. Stop. I want to do a poem. It's a poem you heard before. I tried to do it at Black Lives, at the George Floyd tribute. I think it was Saturday. And I got halfway through and I forgot it. I forgot my poem. There was a Trump supporter screaming at me, and I let it mess up my concentration. I need to pull it up so I can, so it's here so I can like read it. Hold on. Man, I'm so tired. Something. Not that one. Here it is. Nope. There it is. All right. I did this poem halfway through last night. All right. Erase the lines, rewrite the signs. Doorway to home is locked in a rhyme song. Carry the load long, Mary Miss Solely long. Gate my chronological entourage. Pause. Note that particular chanson. Something I dare say is happening here. What it is in itself remains certainly unclear. That gentleman over yonder with the firearm slung over his shoulder said to me, "Watch for stranger ones. There's a danger, son. We better stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody be cool. This is a robbery. If any of you lucky people move, and I'll stand my ground against each and every last one of ya." Wise people once said, peace is not the absence of violence, it is the presence of justice. I, for one, trust this proof to be self-evident. Profess these proofs as complete. My fellow Americans, pluribus unum, out of many, one. And from our molten salt melting pot, let justice be done. See, what binds me to you and you to your neighbor is this matrix of shared freedom. We are real Americans. We fight for the rights of every human as justice demands. No justice, no peace. No peace, no prosperity. Poverty propagates pervasively throughout society in material, mental, and spiritual properties. Nobody wants to break all the Greek pottery, but honestly, our economy has been geared for war for so long, we don't even remember what it's like to dream anymore. What is our inspiration as a united nation? Where is the place where we can come together? Right now, over tea. Hollowed, it is common ground which we seek, a path through an open field, a park bench, still amenable to lying my head on your lap as you play with my hair, while we look at the clouds over puddled reflections, the treasure we seek, common ground, hallowed be thy name. As fellow human beings, I have more in common with you than anything else in the universe. No alien bug or native tree will ever be as close to me as you. As our double helix synergy knot, miracle protein block, hologram, telegram, telephone, love shack, baby love shack, from our great mom and dad to me and you today. Together we can find the mystical, promised land, ancestral metaphorical grounds of our forefathers, the place inside where we can build a home together as one great big American family. Common ground, hallowed be thy name. All right, thank you, America. I will see you next time. For real. Peace.